Hey folks, Tenkar here. Welcome back to Tavern Talk. So while the big publishers are chasing corporate synergy, brand tie-ins, movie deals, and the D&D movie wasn't that bad, but apparently it wasn't good enough for a sequel. Something far more exciting is happening at our tables, and that is the independent RPG boom. We've seen that for a while, but it's zines. I know I said zines, but apparently it's zines. Kickstarters, open licenses. We don't just have the OGL, right? We have the Orc license. We have a license from Mythmere Games. Shadow Dark has a license. These are all to encourage third-party creative freedom. It's an explosion of energy from the ground up. Now, tonight on Talking Crit at 8 p.m., I think that we should ask the big question. Are small creators saving the hobby? So, we're seeing, this is my observation, more indie and small press RPGs now than ever before. You have one-person studios turning out full rule books, zines, funding in hours. Whole communities building around open license creativity. We see that with Shadow Dark. All while the corporate side of D&D looks more like a media conglomerate than a game company. And that contrast says something powerful. The soul of tabletop gaming lives in the small stuff. It's not about IPs or cinematic universes or recurring income streams. It's about people who just love rolling dice and telling stories. And here's why I think these indie RPGs are thriving. Freedom, right? Creators aren't chained to balance sheets or shareholders or corporate requirements or directions. They don't have to stay within certain bounds. They can take risks, explore weird ideas that may not necessarily be the most profitable, and write the kinds of games that they want to play with the expectation that many of us will want to play it. Community, right? Every backer of a Kickstarter, of a backer kit, of an Indiegogo, of a Patreon isn't just a customer, right? They're part of the creative process. When you fund a zine or a micro RPG, you're directly supporting somebody's dream and innovation. The O.S.R. itself showed that small games can reshape the whole hobby. Now, modern indies are doing the same thing. They're blending classic ideas with new systems. They're blending modern systems with classic ideas. Digital tools, killer art direction, and you know what? They're reminding everyone that you don't need a billion-dollar brand to change the game. You need a stapler, a home printer. That's the direction you're going to go, or print on demand. Some dice, and quite simply, you need passion. So, what are some things we should be looking at? Zine Quest will be coming up, right? I think every February now. It's like Christmas for Game Masters. A couple of years ago, before I was doing this YouTube channel, I did a series of interviews of people that were producing zines for Zine Quest. You can find that on this YouTube channel, but they were part of the podcast back then. There's literally hundreds of new systems, adventures, supplements, each packed with creativity. And that's what Zine Quest is all about. And there's a zine community on Facebook if you want to know more. I'm going to use Shadow Dark as an example because Shadow Dark's licensing allows third-party content to support this system. And its amount of third-party support is stunning. Our very own Greg Christopher, you see Greg every other Friday night on the Random Party Generator, has had some very successful supplements for Shadow Dark published under the very open license that Kelsey Dion offers to other creators. And mentioning that, last week on Talking Crit, we had Jeff Jones, right? Dark Deviltry. He was our guest last week. It's a perfect example of a classic O.S.R. feel with modern polish. And again, it's published under the Shadow Dark license. These aren't one-off flukes. They're part of a bigger pattern. Creators reclaiming the hobby from corporate gatekeeping. The indie boom reminds us of what made tabletop gaming special in the first place. It's ours, right? You don't need permission to make something cool. You don't need a marketing department to find your audience and make sure it's valuable. You need an idea, a few friends, and the will to share it. What's the line from the movie? If you make it, they will come. Well, if you make it, your audience will find it. And that's the heartbeat of the O.S.R. Right? Rules light, or maybe I should say rules accessible, rules familiar, imagination heavy, and player driven. The big guys may own the trademarks, but the small creators own the soul. So, are small creators saving the hobby? I personally think they already have. But I want to hear from you. Join us tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Time for Talking Crit, where we'll dig into this topic with Bad Mike, Jim Kitchen, and the Riff Raff in the chat. Bring your questions, bring your opinions, bring your beverage of choice. The tavern's open, and it's always good for conversation. See you all tonight. God bless.